I'm here today to talk about the Columbine High School shooting on April 20th, 1999, and the impact it had on Americans and their safety. I'm sure most people have heard about all the school shootings that have happened in recent years, but many people don't know about the mass school shooting that inspired a lot of shooters today. This event affected America and the safety of Americans in many ways. In this speech, I'm going to talk about not only the impact the shooting had on Columbine High School and the students and staff, but the impact it had on the families and Americans as a whole. First, I want to talk about the impact this shooting had on the school. According to History.com, on April 20th, 1999, two outcast teens brought backpacks with bombs to the cafeteria. They went back to their cars to wait for them to go off. When they didn't, they started shooting people outside. They moved into the school and shot more people in there. They ended up killing 13 and injuring 20 before they turned the guns on themselves. In addition to the lives that were lost, the families and victims that lived were affected. When asked about the school shootings that have been happening more and more this past year, many parents replied, "It's like a wound that never really heals, because every time somebody with a high-powered weapon unleashes a bloodbath at a school, the scab gets ripped off." Rachel Scott was the first victim of the shooting. Her father, Darrell Scott, started a campaign called Rachel's Challenge to help end bullying. When he was asked if he could ever forgive the shooters, his response was simple: "Yes, but the forgiveness was not for them, it was for me." Some families found a little closure in putting Mark Maines in prison for 6 years after he bought the guns and ammunition for the two shooters. Columbine High School was changed forever on April 20th, 1999. They are frequently the target of threats, but nothing has been carried out. The town of Littleton, Colorado, where Columbine High School is located, just can't seem to ever get a break from the tragedy. Not only did this shooting impact the school, but it impacted American people. According to NBC News, schools across America have introduced zero tolerance. This means that the school will not put up with any disruptive behavior or violent threats of any sort. If someone does threaten the school, they will encounter serious consequences. Even with the Zero Tolerance Act in place, there still have been an increase in mass school shootings. This shooting also impacted American safety and the outlook on future shootings. After the devastating mass shooting at Columbine, America was aware of the lack of security in schools. Bigger schools resorted to metal detectors, but not all schools chose to go that drastic. The majority of schools resorted to having locked doors during school hours, making all visitors buzz in. Security cameras were also added to schools. The Columbine shooting also made schools aware of the need to practice lockdown drills. Security isn't the only thing schools have added. They have also started programs to limit bullying in hopes of decreasing school shootings. The majority of school shootings were executed by a student that was bullied and wanted revenge on other students. There are many ways that the shooting at Columbine High School impacted American history. Not only did the shooting impact school staff and students, it impacted Littleton and America as a whole. The outlook on safety in future shootings. Do you remember the mass shooting? Did it greatly impact your life? It wasn't the first school shooting, but it was the first mass shooting that made Americans realize there needed to be a change in schools and an increase in security. Students are the future of America, and we need to make sure they are safe. 13 people lost their lives that day. America needs to stop the number of shootings